Hello my soul tribe and welcome to my channel. I'm Celeste TT Tarot and this is going to be Scorpio's reading. Now, I know what y'all going to say. For those who are new, welcome. For those who are returning, welcome back. It is December 8th when I'm doing this. So I know what y'all going to say. It's Sagittarius season. Scorpio season is already over. Well, hear me out. You got to be obedient when you do these readings. You got to be prepared. And I got so many channelings. That's how I knew that it was time. I am obedient because there may be some things that I may channel that are not time to come out yet, number one. And maybe some of you guys needed time to do what you needed to do. So I'm going to first and foremost say happy birthday. I hope you guys enjoyed your season. And I didn't want to ruin your season, okay? Because sometimes when you channel things and you put it out there, everybody else kind of gets a heads up as to like what you got going on. So, first and foremost, happy birthday. I heard These Are the Times by Drew Hill. These are the times we all wish for. A moment when less means so much more. We don't have to do a thing at all. We can take our time and talk. So that's what we're going to do, take our time and talk. So I got channelings for the Elemental Oracle and I have my little black tarot. So we going dark, dark, dark. So first and foremost thing, taking our time to talk. So what is we going to talk about? We're going to see. But before I go and jump into the message, I did get another channeling. And I kept hearing this over and over and over right before I started this reading. Not that way, not going out that way. And I'll do anything and everything. I'm begging you to stay. And then I promise you that, why you just can't understand. I just don't want to be with you. Please stay. I love you. Even though I said that you can leave me, I want another chance just to adore you. 'Cause I still believe that you were meant to. I love, won't you take the time to see. 'Cause I don't want to have to live my life in misery. I wasn't ready for you to set me free. Don't give our love away. Hey. So that was the part I kept hearing on that. So not that way. And I love you. So I don't know what y'all got going on, but y'all got some folks begging when y'all been going through y'all little transformation season, and it is snowing outside. And the funny thing is, it says silence snow. So this is a confirmation. I just took this right out of the box. You saw me, okay? Silence snow. So we are gonna take that because I'm here based out of Chicago, and it is snowing. And so that is a confirmation that I am actually on time. Sometimes you can't like go with the times of the world. You got to go with the times of the Most High. So I think that was an important message also about flying versus flowing. Okay, some of you guys could have got your energy a little mixed up and been flying around when you should be flowing around. You guys are still a water sign. You are the fixed sign. So you're the one who sets the pathway for everybody else. So if you're flying around when you should be flowing around in that water, slick them high, slick them low, you should be moving around a little bit more like smooth sailing, okay? Then maybe that's how you could have gotten your energies a little mixed up. We also have a lot of times your energy does get mixed up with the water barriers, Aquarius. So I'm picking up on Aquarius energy. You have to be careful. Maybe some of you guys got some slick Aquarius trying to slide in, move things towards calmer water. So I'm picturing the Six of Swords, the Seven of Cups, which is your energy, and then bringing it back memories. Maybe they're triggering emotional memories for you, and you are a water sign. You guys could be a little bit harder to read. When I say like of the water signs, the poker faces are usually Scorpios. When it comes to that, you could have somebody who's got a pretty decent poker face too, and you're trying to figure things out. So I am going to go into the message now. We're going to start with the Oracle, just because I pulled that card and I felt like it was relevant, most high, divine. Please give me the messages for my Scorpios. I love you guys. Thanks for your patience, but patience is a virtue, okay? So maybe some of you guys are trying to figure out virtues here. And my little Scorpio cat, he was waiting like, come on, get him a message already. They need it. They need it. They needed it. Okay, so we got the card set up. I'm going to go in the middle to the heart. The heart of the matter is comfort and hearth. Okay, comfort and hearth. So maybe some of you guys are considering, and that's card number 11. So that's another air sign. So we were talking about the flying. So I channel Aquarius, but 11 is the Justice card, which would be Libra energy. It also reminds me of the Four of Swords card. So you could have broke up with a Libra or have that in your chart. You could be taking a break from a Libra or taking a break from an Aquarius to be with a Libra. Either way, you are resting, recuperating. It is the winter time. You guys' birthday is around the winter time, fall time. So you get the best of both worlds. I also kept channeling not that way. So dual purposes, dual pathways, but one of them you might have explored not to your full capacity. So instead of before you jump off to another slide off and flow off to another way, maybe there's something left that you need to explore there. And then I kept getting or not that way, go another way, because that path is already closed off. You learned everything you needed to learn. I'm sorry that is very contradictory, but you guys, like I said, are the zodiac that sets the emotions. So you know what resonates with you. I don't feel like I should have to tell you guys that. But for those of you who may be a little confused, confusion is the root of the devil. So if you are confused, then yeah, you might need to take a break from everything just to clear your energy and get more grounded and focused in on your own emotions. Maybe you're channeling too many people's emotions, being a water sign. Everybody could be trying to sink in a Scorpio, trying to have them a launch off and have them a brand new start, new beginning, transformation off of your energy. And this is your time to transform. And I feel like some of you guys are still at that end space of doing that, which is why I'm doing this message right now to close the chapter out and wrap everything up, which would I'm channeling like the world card. Now I'm over here shuffling these cards. This is me being obedient because like pick those cards up. So I am going to go ahead and pick these cards up and go for it. Okay, no peeking. No peeking. I also just watched a show, so that kind of took up a lot of energy space. I watched Alice in Borderlands. I really like the show. I'm an anime head. I'm gonna just tell you right away. And so I watched that Alice in Borderlands. I watched the anime first because I'm an anime head, and then they had the real life. I sometimes like the real life. I sometimes don't, because sometimes they can kind of miss the characters. This time they picked up the characters decently well, so I was pleasantly surprised. So we're gonna get the tarot to confirm, and we got the Lovers in reverse. I was just about to say I wasn't planning on taking reversals, but now we got another air sign that's Gemini energy, the twins. So we got dual paths, we got the twins, we got 11, Libra, Justice. So maybe this is 11 in reverse. You weren't equally yoked with somebody. They didn't want the same type of vision they didn't share the same type of vision, values of comfort and hurt that you shared. And I'm going to read that comfort and hurt card, because with the Lovers in reverse, with the Lovers upright, you both are on the same page about relaxing, recuperating, balancing your life out together, balancing the scales. You know, it's a child and a dog here. So, you know, a family situation, being comfortable in the house, feeling secure in the house, securing your emotions, because we got water here through the snow. Snow is a form of water. It's solid water, right? But when it's frozen, maybe some of you guys felt frozen and stuck in a place in this picture, that Six of Cups energy, and you were trying to figure out, is this really what I wanted, or is this just an illusion? And you ultimately made the decision to not, let me block the cards, to not, apparently some people have been getting flagged for, you know, having nudity or so. So apparently you maybe decided not to go for a romantic relationship at the time. Take time to Focus on your own visions and goals for what you had as far as a family situation and how you wanted to create or manifest it. Gemini is the Lover's card. They're also the Magicians. So it talks about manifestation. You could be having issues with manifesting this vision that you have. And how you want it to look, how you want the picture to look. Be careful, because I'm hearing not that way. Is based off the heart. This is the heart condition. So if your heart's not in the right place, you're not going to manifest the type of love that you feel like you deserve, rightfully so, because you're manifesting out of the way. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So that other song I'm starting to channel is Sorry Didn't Notice You There, but then again you didn't notice me, so we remain passers-by until the next time we speak. I'm hoping I can make you mine, for another man steals your heart, and once your beauty is mine, I swear we will never be apart. Walks by me every day, her love's all the same. The woman that stole my heart, and beauty is her name. So maybe some of you guys could be having an issue with the heart space, because somebody done stole your heart and you don't know what to do about it. You don't know how to get yourself together. You got this vision. It's putting visions in your head. Men are visionaries. And Drew Hill Cisco, I believe, is a Scorpio. Very masculine energy. He came across to a lot of people as metrosexual, but a lot of people misunderstood him. I mean, he came out with some pretty heavy hitters, like that Thong song that shows, like, you know, he did his thing. He was out there, you know, in the streets, and you know, but he turned a new leaf eventually. How things turned out for him, I'm not sure. But maybe some people could see him nowadays. I did see a video of him doing a new concert, and he didn't look so well. Looked like life kind of lifed. And so maybe some of you guys are like trying to get a foresight on that, and it's like, that might not be the way I want to go. So while that little picture that, you know, settling down and all that may look cute, you know, it is a caution if you do it with the wrong person, not that way. You know, that's not the right way to go. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you got to do it with your heart, not your eyes. Okay. And I don't know why I'm here when I said that. SWV, use your heart and not your eyes. Just relax and vibe. You got time, then I got time. So take your time in this, and maybe that's what some of you guys are doing this time around before you get back out there. So for those of you who resonates, that's where your heart space is at. You're trying to balance things out. The Lovers was in reverse, but take it in the upright. Once you come out of this resting phase, you guys will be able to get back in the game. I'm hearing rest and be face. Some of you guys can have the rest and be face. For my female Scorpios, like, I ain't with that. I ain't trying to hear it right now. Like, leave me be. Okay, so leave me be. So we're going to be over to here. I'm gonna just grab what I feel. That was the Silent Snow. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, so you could be having sharing a silent moment with somebody, where Scorpios are rest and be face, where you had to tell somebody about themselves. Like, Queen of Wands in reverse could be like that witchy energy, very dominant, very insecure. Taking upright, a visionary, somebody who's confident, somebody who's self-assured, an entrepreneur, somebody who runs her business, is on her game, you know, very attractive. Taking in a reverse, she also is very attractive, but she could be very seductive and alluring, very passive aggressive, but dominant. Seeks to take away somebody else's power to gain a sense of self, codependent. Instead of standing in her own power and standing on her own, she rather kind of milk off of other people. So if Scorpios, male and female, are pretty straight shooters, being that they are the fixed sign of the zodiac, so I can definitely see a Scorpio having a moment of silence and being like, sir, ma'am, use a hoe. I don't know how else to say it. Use a hoe and you got what you was supposed to get. Because you weren't standing in your power. Everything you were doing was just like trying to use your body, using your using seduction to get what you want, being a temperance. A temperance? Okay, y'all go. Temperance. We are in Sagittarius season. Temperance. Temptress. Maybe some of you guys could have said that to a Sagittarius. What other energy did I channel? Visionary and all of that. Aries possibly too. Some of you guys were like, you know, you was a temperance. You wasn't no real empress. You was a fake. Pretend to be using your cooch, your peen to get what you wanted, and it got you nowhere. You were being like, you was being like passive aggressive. You wasn't standing on business, things like that. You were laying on business. Okay. So moment of silence. Maybe a Scorpio had to be the bearer of bad news, because on the silent snow card, I see card number, it's number 34. So card number 3 is the Empress card. Card number 4 is the Aries card. That is Aries energy and Libra Taurus energy. So some of you guys was like, you could not have believed that you was going to be an empress and meet you an emperor and come into alignment while you was being a temperess. Temptress. Whatever. Let's read the card for Hearth, and then for the silence. Hearth pop right up. Okay, it popped right up. So, comfort. Take some time out to rest and regenerate. Know what makes you comfortable. Keep the home fires burning. Create a peaceful and beautiful home life. Nourishing the mind, body, and spirit is important at this time. Focus on the inner life. Comfort and solace. So that is probably where some of you guys are going. The element is fire, and funny thing, that fire came out right with it. I can't make it up. So you were like, whatever fire sign you is, we could probably have some Leo in there. Have several seats. You know what you were on. You know what you were about. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, you were burning fire in the wrong direction. You thought it was gonna get you some sort of Empress energy, a Queen of Taurus is Queen of Pentacles, or Queen of Wands in the upright. No ma'am, no sir. Okay, you turn out to be acting like a bee or acting like a bee. Okay. Be, let it be, let it be. Okay. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Some of you guys could be like listening to a lot of music, got your music game up while you rest and recuperating. Snow, allow yourself to soften. Don't speak just for the sake of it. You do not need to issue an opinion on everything. Choose your words carefully. Sometimes observing is the best way to gain information and trust. Silent, be quiet. So to me, snow always equals silence. When it snows, the environmental sound is dulled and muffled. There's a sense of quiet and contemplation if you allow yourself the time to be out in the snow with few people around. There are few environments in modern life that offer such quiet. So that is water element. So some of you guys could be having that moment of silence and speaking your mind on something after you observe the situation, which would kind of be like a Page of Swords energy. Scorpios are very good at that. In fact, visualizing, if you put the cards together, it would be like the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords is your like investigatory type of energy, and that's why you guys could come across maybe confusing it with flying, when really Scorpios like glide on across the ground and the sand and the water. They're gliding, right? They are in the bottom, but they're gliding. So a lot of you guys have just been kind of peeping the scene, gliding around, like, you know, in the moment you thought you could fly, you got out there and you weren't in calmer waters. You realized you was around all the sharks, and you just had to just stay still and just kind of float on back to the bottom. Like, okay, you know, let me sit this one out real quick and let me, you know, observe a little bit more. So that makes 100%. For those who know, you know. If you don't, I mean, take a little time, I guess, to figure it out. Lake depth. Oh! Enough said. Did you see that? Okay, did you see that? Lake depth. Okay, this is card number 31, Empress energy and Gemini energy, Magician. Okay, so manifestations, that Empress energy, Taurus or Libra energy, and this talks about going deep. Okay, and then the card I don't remember if it was flipped up or down, but it's the Five of Swords, which is Aquarius energy that I talked about before. So trying to prove a point, trying to win against all odds. You can see the clouds all jacked up because it's like, bro, what you put out, you're gonna get back. So if you operate by the sword, you taking other people's sword, you gonna get cut down by them same swords that you sending out. These people are walking away, they're done, nobody's playing the game, and you're trying to play games. So this is you swallowing a bitter pill because those swords go up into the universe and lightning comes back, lightning strike, and now you in your own temperance. You're in your own temptress, your own storm that you created for yourself because these people that fell out, they got their heads down, so they're protected, right? But you just all out there because you were trying to prove a point, and sometimes the point proves itself with a moment of silence. Sometimes you don't have to prove a point. That's the swallowing that bitter pill. It's like, yeah, you proved a point, and it's a bitter pill that you got to swallow now because that point got proved on you, or because you actually didn't prove a point, or you proved a point that you didn't intend to prove. So, this is also like, definitely like that, I do what I want whenever I want it, and I'll accept the consequences when they come back, but you really don't accept the consequences because you don't like them. You don't like to eat what you put out. So, but you got to eat your own death. You got to eat your own garbage. If you throw garbage into your own waters and you dilute them and pollute them, you got to eat it. You got to swallow your own water because when everybody else walks away and you are in that moment of silence, whether you're going through a storm or not, you can't expect people to step up and help you and be there for you when you were trying to prove a point and only intent upon hurting and harming other people so that you can make yourself feel better. Like, oh, it happened to me, that's that, oh, it happened to me, so I guess I could do it to other people. But like, and she do her demonic worship or whatever, but that is a essence of the Five of Swords till it happens to you. So I'm hearing it like, till it happens to you, you don't know how it feels. And it's like, okay, but then do you turn around and become the aggressor? Do you become what you hated about somebody else? So that's that, to prove a point or not to prove a point, or you've already went too far and now that point is coming back to bite you in your own death because you muddied up your own waters. So you got to be careful about that. Vengeance is the Most High's. Okay, so as you can see, every time she do a concert, she falling all around and tripping and doing all of this. It's like, hey, like, you need to cleanse yourself of the demonic entities. I don't know how you got in this pathway, a lot of them for fame and fortune, but it is time for y'all to cleanse it out or be stuck with it because it's going to be in your waters, okay? Them books are going to be open, right, at the end of the day, and everybody about to hear, and you're going to be stuck with that. So it's best to, like, try to regain footing, right? Or else you're going to be swallowing what you spit out, and spitting out water. Do not take the shallow alternative. Deep dive, do research, do not cut corners. You may not be seeing the whole picture, so take your time with the decision. And this is deep. Lakes are natural, self-contained bodies of water, not connected with an ocean. They have their own ecosystems, often contain their own endemic species. Most have at least one stream or river directing the flow outwards. The different classifications of lakes include glacial, tectonic, fluvial, and shoreline, and those formed by meteorites hitting the earth. As they are often freshwater, historically lakes have attracted human occupancy as they are water stores. Spiritually, they have been places of magic and power, but they are disconnected from the ocean. So you have to remember that one stream is still connected to the ocean. So if you put a whole bunch of salt in your water, you're going to turn your water into salty ocean water, but you ain't going to have the flow of the ocean because you won't go deep. You're shallow. You're going to be in shallow waters because the lake has a bottom, and all that salt going to be built up in there until you can't even choking it down. You can't even swallow it yourself. So that is water element, and you guys are a water sign. So that's on the right hand. It could be your left, my right, because I like to do it in a human form spread just to see what areas of the body you may need to focus on. So this might be the right temple, right side of your brain, which is the logical one. Logically, what you put out, you're going to get back, right? That is the numbers game. That is universal law. And that's balance. That's that Libra energy, right? So you have to, on the right side of the brain, I'm sorry, right side is the creativity. See how I mixed them up? Right side of the brain is the creativity. It is your blocked creativity. You won't go deep. You're always going to be shallow, like, oh, this is the way it goes. This is how our ecosystem flows. This, that, and the other. When the whole time, the way your ecosystem could be flowing, you could be polluting and toxifying it to the point where the waters get all muggy and now you can't even drink it, right? Because it's not healthy. It's not a healthy ecosystem environment. It's a toxic wasteland, right? But you can't see it because you're in it, right? So you got to go deep, and you got to go as deep as you can. Once you hit the bottom, then you look up, you can kind of see the waters are foggy. I can't even see the top, right? But if you're always brazen the top, you thinking, oh, everything's cool, right? When it's not. You could get dragged under at any moment. So on the left side of the brain, which is reversed because you're looking at it from my direction, we got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and we have Joy Music 28, okay? Joy Music 28. So joy and music, card number 2 and 8 is the High Priestess card. Leo energy, strength card, playing music, being joyful. And then the Nine of Pentacles is Virgo energy, earth energy, but it's in reverse, being ungrounded, being codependent, not wanting to be single at all costs. Right on the left brain is the logic, like if I'm not single, then I shouldn't have to go out and earn and be self-sufficient and earn my own money. I could just play around and be joyful. But how is that logical? Okay, because that's the creative energy. Why is the creative energy on the logical side? So you're gonna play and party and sit there in the sand. After everything dries up, there's no more water. All you got is that music left, but you also don't have any grounded abundance. Okay, so or you used up all your abundance. Now it's all buried deep because you just sold everything for this violin, and now that's all you have to play. So you're going to sit there in the desert with the moon shining up on you doing moon magic. And, you know, if that's the case, or you know somebody that was doing that, and which is definitely High Priestess energy there, 2 and 8. And, you know, doing it strongly, but, you know, what are you going to drink? There's no water. Where's the water? After you finish playing that music, can you survive on music? Are you going to eat those strings on the guitar? You know, because the guitar is upright. You're single and self-sufficient, Nine of Pentacles, when you bought the guitar. Now you're wiped out. So what are you going to do now? You're going to sit there under the moon and play that violin, and there's nobody around to hear you. So what's going to happen now? And, you know, she's got these, you know, clothes on. They're like gypsy-like clothes. You're going to become a nomad, and where are you going to go? Or she could be just waking up, getting ready to play music. But if you're not grounded, and you don't have any assistance, you see with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, what else do we have? The bird is gone. The bird didn't fail. All the pentacles didn't fail. And actually the dress falls. And now your dress is actually upended. So you sitting here trying to keep your dress down, right? You see that? But if the Nine of Pentacles is in reverse, your dress is over your head. So you're exposed. You've exposed yourself that you don't have abundance, that you don't have anything at this point to offer. So you have to be careful because that's not logical. It doesn't make any sense. You turn it up right, you got Nine of Pentacles. You still got Nine of Pentacles. You're dressed, you're covered up in your dress. You're single, self-sufficient, abundant. Nobody knows you. The bird is your friend. You could talk to the birds. They send messages and bring messages to you, and you're open to receive. You see, she has this open position. It's like a Libra position. Like, I could receive a message, but here, the only message you're getting is this violin over here because the ground is dry. Okay, so I'm going to read the music card. It's usually a positive one, but when it's taken with that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, like, it can mean that that's all you focus on and you don't have anything else going of substance. Use music to change your mood. Music raises your vibration, creates ways you can express yourself more fully. Move your body through dance. Allow your body to heal through movement. Surround yourself with music to heal. It could be the music of nature, natural soundscapes, or human-generated music, okay? Music is an air element activity. Not only are voices powered by air and many instruments powered by breath, but music is carried by the air element to the ear. So that is air element, okay? But does that even make sense? We have 2 and 8. High Priestess, 8 strength card, which is Leo energy. We got Virgo here, but somehow this is supposed to be air. So you are what? You got water, fire, and earth. And trying to create what? To raise your vibration. If you're in reverse, you're ungrounded. And if you're trying to express yourself, why is that not on the right brain where it's creative? And then why is it on the logical brain? Because it doesn't make logical sense. And I can see why the Nine of Pentacles will come in reverse. Because how are you supposed to create abundance? You can create abundance from your music, but there's nobody there to hear you. There's no souls. There's no one around. So how is that going to work? I mean, use your logical brain to figure it out. This could be somebody you're dealing with. So we got Virgo energy. High Priestess is Pisces and Leo on the left brain. On the right brain, we had Aquarius, we had Libra, Taurus, and we got Gemini energy, which is that one card, the Magician. So you just got to be careful. We did have Leo in the heart space, okay? I mean, not Leo. We got Libra in the heart space, and Gemini in reverse. But we can flip the cards up and take it however it resonates for you, okay? If you feel like your heart is balanced, if you feel like you're ready for love, then that's the phase that you are at, okay? Just understand, I wasn't taking any of these cards in reverse, but I'm going to read them so I can give you the complete picture and the complete message, right? Let's go to the left, this side, the left hand. On the left hand, solitariness, desert, 13. There go your energy, okay? Death. Transformation coming with that white horse. That's that pale horse. And we got the Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay. That talks about losing your vision, your path, your purpose. Right? Because I see the Wands card as a divine purpose. The divine gives you an idea, a spark, right? Just like I get a pulling, a spark to do a message, right? To channel a message. Those are divine messages given from the divine's hand. In reverse, it means it's not given from the divine's hand. It could be given from somebody else's hand. It could be something that dropped down and you picked it up and you thought, oh, that meant I need to go, but you went a little ahead of the game, because this is almost like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Cups card, because it is your card. It's death energy, and it talks about solitariness, right? So going on your solitary journey and transforming yourself, right? But if you don't have the divine leading you, then who's leading you? The devil, okay? So you're running in the direction that you're not supposed to run into because you're not listening to the divine. But if the divine is saying not that way, right, then the path you're going is the right way. Only you are gonna know that, okay? So that's why I wasn't tasked to give this message before it was time, because now I'm starting to see that, because that 13 card is also break down to 1 and 3 and put together as 4. So some of you guys, I did mention this. That's crazy. I just told somebody this. It's he who finds a wife. Right? I said, find me a place in the Bible. Find me a place where the Most High says she found a husband. Right? He don't say that. He says he who found a wife. So if you out here looking for a husband, you is taking masculine energy, and that's why you're a Queen of Wands in reverse. Because you don't dominate a man and force him to do anything. Because eventually you gonna get turned on your head and all your stuff gonna get exposed, because there are double standards in society, and that's that duality, okay? And we have to acknowledge them and live within reality, not the reality we want or not what we believe we can create. So if you are in a society where there's double standards and you know you're going to get harsher treatment as a woman for exposing yourself or being promiscuous, then why would you do it? I'm going to prove, what point are you proving? Because now you're worn out, you're tired, you're blocked, you're not tapping in your creativity because you're too busy trying to one-up this man and sleep with the next person before he can sleep with somebody or whatever. And then if he don't, now you look a hot mess because you just jumped the gun. So you got to take your time and slow down and really reflect and go deep. Like, it's not about that. Love is not a battlefield, and it shouldn't have to be that way. Like, it's literally like your emotions and balancing your emotions is about being mature. Understanding when to hold them or when to fold them, right? Knowing to walk away, knowing what to stand on, standing on your values, morals, and principles. Stand on something and fall for anything. And a lot of people are falling for the okie doke. And it's like, It looks like you're transforming yourself. You are in your energy in this card, and you are not giving out the messages. You're blocking folks. You're not. If the Most High say not that way, you ain't going that way, and that's great energy to have, as long as you're not following the crowd, following what's of the world, right? Because this wand that fell, like, going back to, like, if a Queen of Wands in reverse, we are in Sagittarius season, like falling for anything, being a fallen angel, and trying to get bound to the world when that's not your dwelling. And if you're here in the underworld, you would know, for example, because they always joke on Scorpios, oh, y'all the reapers, y'all deaf, y'all kill a lot of things. Yeah, but y'all transform a lot of things, because you can't live in delusion. Y'all understand that Seven of Cup energy. You got options, you got pathways, but they have consequences, every single one of them. So you can't live delusionally like, oh yeah, if I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to get this outcome, and then I'm going to go off and live happily ever after. Y'all be like, so how was that going to work? You'd be like, yeah. You lost me at that point right there. That point right there. How that was about to work. And you'd be like, yeah. And then y'all be like, yeah, this person. Wacko. They led by the devil. And that's when you know, like, yeah, no, we don't follow the devil. Because we're, let's say if you guys were like, yeah, like I got that Hades vibe or whatever, you really embrace your energy and you were transforming yourself. A light worker, because without reapers, then people wouldn't understand the value of the consequence of their actions, right? Death is the reaper with his reapers, right? With his death angels that come in and give and show people the outcome of their consequences. They execute judgment when the Most High gives them the sign and signal, it's time for this person and their time is up, and they go and reclaim that person. They transform their lives, but then that person is now stuck in the desert because they didn't choose to transform before it was their time. They just after the fact tried to, some of them people be trying to repent at the last minute, but it's like, but you did all these horrible things in life. What your judgment is going to be in the end, nobody knows, but death angels have a very important role, and they should not be understated. That transformation energy is very, very important, and nobody should ever have to feel some kind of way for their, like, sign or whatever, their sign that they were born around the sun. Scorpios are very, very important. They could be desert dwellers, they could be water dwellers. I mean, they're very versatile. They could be in the forest. So, don't let nobody, like, play you just because of, like, who you are. That's something things you can't change. It's not your responsibility for somebody else who feels some kind of way because of who you are. It's like, well, you don't need to gel with that person because they got some growing up to do. It's very immature, right? And I say this because I always say, for you guys' birthday, I'm a Capricorn. What is our card in tarot? The devil, okay? But I always say the Most High Son, Yahshua is what I call him because that's his Hebrew name, was a Capricorn, because they swore up and down he was born. First of all, they tried to change it, say October, and they were like, yeah, we got signs for that, but nobody knows for sure. But they swore up and down it was Christmas. If it's Christmas, that's Capricorn season. So I'm like, oh, so y'all trying to call him the devil? Really interesting, because a lot of people did see him that way. He ultimately ended up being sacrificed, and then he resurrected because it actually wasn't his time. They had no divine authority to do it, and so he rose. So that's why, a lot of times I go with a lot of Scorpios, and it's like just an inner understanding of, like, yeah, the devil is the one. Why don't you look in the mirror? Because a lot of y'all looking at the outside, but really the inside, y'all some devils, right? So, or y'all some thieves, or y'all some killers, right? Y'all the actual killers, but you want to come and call me that when I come in to transform it, or I catch the killers, or I do this. A lot of you guys are, like, very goal oriented or whatever. So if you lost your pathway or lost your goal orientation, desires, your purpose, don't let anybody take your fire and your spark away from you and just turn you into this, like, walking dead reaper who's grieving all the time, who's always in remorse and regret. Because that Scorpio energy, that Five of Cups, can also be repentance and actually taking the path that you need to take and getting on your journey and admitting. Like, if you can't even admit when you're wrong, then you've already lost at this point, okay? So if you can't acknowledge that And every sign has their faux pas. So for fire, it would be like that stubbornness, that like, that passionate, flaming, like anger, easy to anger. It would be, they probably battle a lot with warmth, right? And like the air signs, Aquarius would probably battle a lot with that proving a point, that like arrogance type of prideful energy, even though that comes out fire. So warmth and pride is fire signs thing, but the fixed signs kind of give you an overview, their cards of like how things kind of play out for each sign. So for Aquarius, which is the fixed sign of the air, that trying to prove a point, that believing that you're wise but you're a fool, that type of going back and forth, mental overexhaustion, and then staggeredness, like not able to see like your own path or whatever, because sometimes you could be too logic and you're not creative enough, and you're not learning how to balance your mental faculties. So it comes out in a lot of mental issues, right? Mental issues. Fire signs can come out in a lot of physical, bodily issues, loss of strength, breaking bones, things like that. Earth signs come in a lot of poverty issues, drugs, right? With that Capricorn energy, because that devil is very hard to break. You get drugged and you get stuck on drugs, right? That for the love of money. I'm hearing Bone Thugs and Harmony. For the love of money, gotta get that money, man. That money, man. Gotta get that money, man. That money. For the love of money, you gotta be careful, because that Taurus energy, that like all trying to like being very stubborn. They can be very stubborn, just going just like a bull, just rampaging on a path, and not listen to nobody, no reason, no nothing. It's like, oh, it's money over here. Oh, it's money over here. Like getting distracted easily. And that's the slowest moving card in the deck. And it's like, you just walk around picking up little money, picking up money, but you're not really able to hold on to it, because all you can really, while you charging around, right? Because you're not sitting in your hierophant energy, you're not grounded, you're not listening to the Most High, while you sitting up there trying to pick up every little goblet of money you can get. You can only handle one thing at a time, right? It's like you can only pick up one goblet of money, because if you see the Knight of Pentacles card, the pentacle is in that kid's hand, and the bull just keep rushing on forward. It's just like, oh, just picking it off the tree, and then it ain't no more trees around. What we gonna do? Like, oh no, now you trying to turn around, you ain't got no water, no trees, like so that Taurus and that stubbornness, that being stiff-necked, because it takes the Most High. They like to say that's the Hierophant card, right? That's their, the religious organization, the foundation, because them bulls can create a solid foundation, right? You when you go back to being a farm owner, bulls can pull things. They can do a lot of things. You can get things around a farm done. They can, herd in other animals. They can be herded. It's like, they produce milk. They can produce meat. Like they are an abundant source, right? They create a foundation. Everything kind of can build around it. The local church that came, because you can go and get them the milk, and then they can give it to the homeless. It's all about that equal give and take, right? That's that charity, right? The Hierophant energy, because the Most High is very charitable to us, right? That's why I see him as the Hierophant and the Emperor. I see him as both merged together. But when you elevated in both of those, it's like being able to be charitable, but also being that Emperor, and then knowing where to pull one of them kings out, especially that King of Swords, and be like, hey, the math ain't mathing. Hold up. Somebody that took a little too much. Somebody that mismanaged the money. Like, okay, and then that King of Cups is like, okay, I feel bad for you, but I'm also not going to let you play me, right? Because I'm mature enough to know where this is going to go. So I can love you from afar, have a nice day, this, that, and the other. And that would be that Scorpio energy, like, all right, knowing when to be like, no, enough is enough, we're done, I'm transforming this, and you're cut off. That's that Gemini energy, cut off, right? The cutoff game is clear. Like, I have to cut you off, right? And it's like learning how to balance all the energies of the zodiac, so you can be able to elevate. And elevation requires being able to listen and receiving, listen, and receiving. So that's the earth sign. Like you can, it hits you in abundance, because then if you can't take care of yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself, that's why the Taurus is seen as the Empress energy, then your abundance is gone. Like, because you running around picking up little goblets here, and then they just disappear. Because you drop one, you pick another one up. You drop that one, pick this one up. You drop that one, pick this one up. And it's like, you can only pick up one at a time. You actually are not the most high. You know, like, in a sense, Taurus could be chosen, like, to establish the religious organizations, but if they're not built on a solid foundation, they are on quicksand, and they will sink and fall every time. And that's all his messages throughout the Bible. Okay, so I got a little long-winded there, but I just wanted to make sure you had that change, wind, and the devil in reverse. Okay, so I'm going to block that card, but change, wind, and the devil in reverse. Capricorn energy, as I said, that is in reverse. So you're releasing the devil, releasing yourself from any habits, toxicity. The wind is change, 2 and 4. That is 6, Gemini energy. 2 is high priestess, and 4 is the emperor. Okay, so changing yourself, changing your energy, and flipping over. Some of you guys could be changing genders. Some of you guys could be changing a lot of things, like it looks like you're balancing out your Scorpio. You might have air in your chart, so you're figuring out how to balance out what's in your chart. And if you got Gemini in your chart, if you got Pisces in your chart, or you got Aries in your chart, you're learning how to create the winds of change to prepare yourself off away from the devil, it looks like. And if you are, that's great. But if you're propelling yourself down to the devil, because you can see that can be going down in reverse, that might not be a good thing. So you might want to reverse course. Not that way. Resisting change is useless. Be prepared for a change in direction. You have been warned of change, so believe it. Wind is responsible for the majority of the movement of gases on the Earth's surface. It is measured by direction, speed, velocity, energy, and moisture content. Winds are caused by changes in atmospheric pressure. When air moves from a higher pressure to lower, or vice versa, it creates movement in the air. Winds are influenced by geography, such as mountains and seas. So some of you guys will be wanting to go to the mountains. I highly advise that. My Saggy cousin is there in Costa Rica, La Fortuna. That is exactly where I wanted to do your reading, but I couldn't go. The Most High said, sit down, have several seats, and that was for a reason. So I was going to do your reading there. That's the other reason why I was waiting. But the silence came through that snow. Then the snow came, and it all resonated. It was like, okay, it's time now. I got that pull, and I started hearing the channeling messages of Scorpio. That's how my channeling works. Not completely, right? Because I don't give away all the, like, I got that in, me and the Most High, like, I got that in, so I can't give you all our in, right? That's between us. You got to get your own relationship, okay? Element is air on that. Okay, we're going to go right this time. Fire, ignition, King of Wands in reverse, card number 8, Leo energy. So talks about King of Wands in reverse is somebody who's also promiscuous. His robe is down. He done lost his crown. He lost his wand because he gave his power away, right? Giving your power away is like being weak. Not standing your ground, not standing on morals, values, and principles, not standing on business either. The King of Wands is an entrepreneur. He runs his own ship. He runs his own empire. He is the adult male version of the emperor. The emperor tends to take a little bit more time. The King of Wands takes a little bit more time to mature, but he is well on his way if you're in the King of Wands upright. So that Leo energy can definitely help. That is the fixed sign of the fire sign, for those who must know. So they set the pathway. Stand on it. Stand on it. If you talk about it, what you say out of your mouth, be about it. That's that 7 of Wands. You talk about it, be about it, because you can't possibly be 6 of Wands in victory, success, and recognition if you ain't standing on business. How can you win in anything? How can you be victorious, and then being victorious for who? For the devil? If you victorious for the devil, you prideful, you arrogant, and you ain't gonna win nothing, because the Most High is gonna win at the end of the day through the Messiah, who is the lion. He coming back as a lion, the lion of the tribe, right? The tribe of Judah, right? The lion. So if he coming back as a lion, he about to stand on principles and business. He about to come with the mouth of the sword. That justice, Libra energy. Do you really think like you gonna be able to fool him into believing that you one of his when you're not standing on principle? If your principle is like, I don't do X, Y, and Z, or I don't mess with X, Y, and Z, or I don't venture or invest in X, Y, and Z, but then somehow you still doing it. It's like you're not standing on principles. You lost your crown, you lost your power because you gave it away. You gave it to that thing that you felt like, oh, I'll just do it for this time being, just to what? You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to end up getting stagnant, because if you lose your divine protection, 7 of Wands in reverse, that's having several seats. And you might not even be able to sit down, because if the Most High got to sit you down, you're going to fall down, right? Because you're getting a divine spanking. I got a divine spanking. I couldn't go to Costa Rica. It wasn't time for me, and I had to eat that, right? But you got to be willing to humble yourself, right? Sit down and be humble. So in order for you to ignite your fire, you have to understand where your fire comes from. The light, the power, the principles, the purpose comes from the Most High. If you decide to toss the Most High out of your life, then you in the 5 of Pentacles, because he can never be tossed out of nothing. It's his world that he created. You just a speck of dust in it, right? And you have to realize your role. Your role is to be a visionary, and the masculines of the tribe, the masculines of of his people, and the masculines who are chosen, whether you're recognize yourself as part of the tribe or not. If you look through your lineage, you probably will find out that you were part of a tribe. Might not have been a tribe of Judah, but it definitely was other tribes. Manasseh, he had 12 sons. Okay, it was 12 tribes. 10 of them got taken away. 2 of them stayed together. 1 of them halved. Okay, so if you look at the history of the Bible and how the movement went, you could have came from one of the other tribes, and you could be having to learn to re-spark your tribe's fire to get back into alignment with what your tribal duties were, because you gave your power away trying to be following the devil, and he didn't put you in the King of Wands in reverse. Now everybody knows that you promiscuous, all your business out in the street, how you run everything all out in the street. Everybody know your movements, everybody know what you're doing. How can you maintain the empire? Now everybody trying to snipe you, and you ain't got no protection, right? Your protection comes from the divine. The divine can flow out enemies. I mean, you could be one person standing in the desert, and the divine have a whole army of angels with fire, lightning coming through, and the enemy is running, and you trying to figure it out. It's come from the divine, right? That was a story in the Bible. Like, it was 300, okay? They said that 300 from, that movie, the 300, like it was the Greeks. That was already in the Bible, and they went in there, lit them torches and stuff. So it's like it really was a remake of that. And then they, of course, changed the skin color and all that. But with those things, too, I would say also, like, I'm a minority, and I have my own beliefs. And I will say that regardless of what color it is, what color a person is, you're going to lose your own spot. If you're too worried about skin color and you trying to one-up them, right? This is for my minority people. Let's say you are the chosen people, because I believe that we are. And I know I'm chosen, and I believe I come from this tribe. I'm going to be real. Even though, let's say I was to say, oh, the other people who claim they come from that tribe is not, right? Because there's a lot of that anti-this, anti-that, anti-this, racism, okay. Prejudice, okay. Let's say it turns out that's true. All right. But if they are embodying that divine energy, and they are good people, and they are operating in the light, do you really think they gonna be ousted out of their spot, even if it was your spot, and you placed in there when you ain't did nothing but been everything of the devil, been everything of evil, disregarded the Most High, cursed the Most High, act like you don't know him? And he said, you don't know me? I don't know you. I don't know you. You essentially gave up your own spot. Okay, so how can you get mad at somebody else when you're not even embodying the energy to be what you say, what you claim you are? And then you mad talking about, well, I want you to acknowledge me, and this is that, and this is that. Okay, historically, but let's talk about the present day. What have you been doing? You was quick to throw away your robes. You was quick to throw away your crown so that you could be in the ending with them. You gave them your seat. And then they got in your seat, and let's say they learned their lesson, they humbled themselves, and they say, you know what, I really don't deserve to be here. And they start operating with integrity, with morals, with standards, with values, helping people, charitable, being visionaries, creating businesses, feeding people. You really think the Most High about to oust them out of that seat that you claim was yours and put your evil self there? Hell no. It ain't gonna happen. Hell no. It will freeze over. You ain't getting back in that seat unless you embodying the energy. That's the time we in right now. So fire. Bring that, come with the fire, and be what you say you are. You can't just say, oh, because skin color is not going to buy you into the kingdom. It's not. They're going to look and say, okay, check. The skin color, that was in alignment. But everything else is not in alignment. Out. This is a demon. Let it go. So you choose. Okay. Next, gravity. The Emperor in reverse. All these cards coming out. The King of Wands upright. You already know. Standing on principle, standing on business, being about it. If you say you don't deal with this, you're not going to deal with it under no circumstance. I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody say to you. I don't care. They can give you, oh, well, I'll offer you this money. I'd rather be broke. I got Leo on my chart. I would rather be broke. I'm going to tell you now, I'd rather go broke. Because I already know broke is a mindset. Broke is a mindset. I'm not going to stay broke. Because guess what? The Most High gonna open up the stores of the abundance, and he gonna drop it down. Get that to my baby. Get that to my baby. Because they think it ain't about to happen. I'd rather go broke than take that devil's coin. The devil can keep his coin. I got divine coin. I prefer divine coin because that coin it grows in abundance before you could even know it. Things be blowing my mind how I'll spend that last thing or count go negative, and then I wake up the next day, boom, it went positive time 2, 3, 4. Just running the numbers, running it up, and that's like, whoa, like how did that happen? You like. Gotta trust in the divine. I don't even ask how it happened. I know how it happened. I said, oh, you already thought way 10 steps ahead of me before I even knew what I was thinking of, before I even knew what I was happening, before I even knew what path I was going. You already laid it out, set it up, and set other people up. See, you beat other people's tests. When you chosen, you somebody else's test. Because they think they're going to come in and sneak attack you. And really, like I like to tell people, let me tell you something. You think you're going to get up there and sneak attack something? You don't know what was in your storage. You don't know what was in your family's lineage, legacy, and in your storage chest. So while you over there sneak attacking them, and they behind the scene with your book of life, the angels recording it. It's all in the book of Enoch. They're going to pick that book up. Gravity, groundedness, card number 39, 3, Empress energy, 9, Virgo energy. They're going to pick it up. Yeah, they hitting. They doing a deep dive because they writing in the deeper messages because they recording heart, mind, body, spirit, thoughts, okay? They record it down. Oh, she thought this about this person. Okay, going in her storage case. So now they going in your spiritual house. Oh, she had this and that, and she had diamonds and gold and all that here. Here, let's take that. They filling the chest up. Let's take that. Here, we're going to take this over there to them since they wish that evil on that person. That's how it works. See, but a lot of people don't know that, and I just keyed y'all in. That's how it works. That's why you're not able to manifest, because when you evil eye other people and you eye other people's stuff, you don't know what you had in your own storage. You could have been rich. You could have been set to be rich if that was in your birth chart, and you reading your birth chart and looking at your legacy. You trying to read somebody else's birth chart. Did you look at your own birth chart? Because you would have realized what you was doing was taking from your ancestors' storage, because they got to give it over. They got to turn it over. All right, we're going to take this. Oh, y'all was supposed to be eating wine, grapes, and gold. Y'all gold was going to be grown on vines. Oh, we got to clear them vines out. And we're going to take it over here and give it back to this person because they was innocent and that person had no right. Y'all better cut it out. Emperor in reverse. Losing empires. Empires. Being jealous and envious and embodying them 7 deadly sins. You're going to lose out. You're going to lose your spot. Now somebody else is sitting in your spot while you over here worried about this person. Somebody else is sitting in your spot now. And they doing good with that energy. And that energy is replicating. And then they bringing it back. The parables that the Most High Son, Yahshua, spoke. The Most High Son said, 3 men by their master was given. One of them was given 1, another one was given 2, and another one was given 5. That one who was given 5 made 10. The one who was given 2 made 4, and the one who was given 1 buried it in the dirt. And then when the master came to collect, the one said, "Oh, I'm just giving you back what you gave me." It was like, oh yeah, that 5 of swords. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'll take this from you, put it to the one who made the 4. Now they making 5, and they took that and made 10 too, and now they walking off with their legacy, and that person had nothing. Period. That's how it go. Emperor in reverse, losing empires, right? Empires because of gravity. What goes up must come down. As above, so below. Okay, I feel like I ain't gotta speak that to Scorpios. Let's read the gravity card. Okay, so for those who don't know, you fall out, you fall off your throne. Somebody else can get up there because if they elevate and they do what they supposed to do, they elevate up into heaven, and then they can get themselves in your seat. Seek a grounded perspective. Gravity is the natural force that causes all things with mass and energy to be attracted to each other. This includes planets, galaxies, light, and yes, even apples. The famous story about Isaac Newton and the apple actually did happen, but not in the way most people think. There's no evidence of young Isaac being bumped on the head by a falling apple. He was sitting in the orchard and observed an apple falling from a tree. He noticed every apple fell the same way, straight down, not sideways or somehow else impeded, and he wondered why. This inspired him to formulate the law of universal gravitation, which states that everybody in the universe is attracted to every other body with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. His famous apple tree continues to grow. Earth energy, okay? Breathing. Put your awareness in your feet and ask gravity to do its thing is a good solid magic. So some of you guys, go get your feet done, okay? Men too. Go get your feet done. Get the clear polish. If you get the clear polish, go get your feet done. Because your feet is a channeling. Your hands and your feet are channeling. That's why a lot of people, when they talk about that little magic stuff, oh, they use your hand and your feet. I don't care. You want to rub up on my hands, you can rub my hands till kingdom come. And the Most Hand gonna scrub all that off. He gonna scrub it off, and he gonna put, oh, they want to curse you? Oh, what they have in their storage chest? Oh, here, I'm gonna put that in your hand. And I'm like, where did this come from? Oh, okay. Hey, that's that 2 of Pentacles. That's Capricorn energy, just so you know. Like, hey, got that. It's like, dang, what am I supposed to do with this? Oh, I'm gonna go and triple it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Okay, turn 2 to 4. 4 to 8. Like, let's keep it rolling. We can go multiples of 4, okay? Look, don't, because that would come from the Most High Son. Like, all right, because they double teaming. You think you not alone? It's 2 of them. And the Holy Spirit. That's 3. That's the Holy Trinity, okay? And you make number 4. So as long as you protect it, that's that 4 of Pentacles. As long as you in the Most High, you with the Most High and His Son and the Holy Ghost. Y'all, all the angels behind y'all. Y'all got the whole family. Man, y'all walking around here peacocking it on people. Why? Because He said, I will lay a table out before your enemies. And they going to have to watch you. Ain't nothing they can do about it. Why? Because every time they attack you, they attacking themselves and their own lineage. You don't know. They going and they heavenly, whatever they had set aside for them by Lua ancestry. They going in their heavenly chest and clearing it right on out. And then that's why when they manifest, the money starts slowing down for them. And they like, what's going on? You heard it from here. I ain't got to say nothing else. Ace of Cups in reverse. The waters is coming out. Everybody getting clear waters. The dew, the healing. Because the Most High going to send healing. If you had healing in your family, He dropping it in. Oh, you don't want it? You don't want this divine love? You don't want to show unconditional love? You want to be bitter and hate and focus on hatred? The water bearer is going to turn it upside down, okay? The Pisces, you going to get hung upside down. Because you not being in divine energy. You being in witch devil energy. You hung in reverse. The Cancers, they gonna clip it at the bottom. They don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want the divine unconditional love. You want to be bitter. So now your healing energy, every time you curse somebody else, send some death magic, whatever, oh, they just drinking that healing water. They just flowing. Let it flow. Like Tony Braxton said, let it flow, let it flow, let it go. Everything gonna work out right, you know. Just let go. Let it flow, let it flow, flow, let it flow, let it go. Just let it go, babe. So if you had this in your stored up in your heavenly chest, your ancestral chest for your family, you spilling all your family's water, everybody else's water, all the love and that could have went around, you spilling that out for everybody. So everybody drinking that family good, clear, clean water. Cause guess what? You ain't gonna use it where you going. So North, expansion. Card number 1, manifestation. Okay, you see that? Look at that, beautiful. Expansion, North energy. Okay, you wanna head to the north. You wanna head to the righteous path. Okay, elevation path. Okay, and that don't mean that the north side is always elevation expansion. Don't get tricked. Okay, because they like, well, we on the north, so we gotta be doing great. Okay, yeah, but the fire on the south. So you gonna freeze. You're gonna freeze if you don't work together. Cause I'm a south sider. You gonna freeze, or you on the west side, and it's like y'all. They got every direction, every group, every tribe, every people's got something. You may not know about it because you don't know the Most High. You don't want to take the time to get to Most High. He ain't got to take the time to get to know you. Them chests gonna get cleared out and your stuff, cause he's the Most High of many names and faces. He's got many mansions and houses. Those to me are many peoples, tribes that he belongs to. And every now and then he'll come in and see who's worthy, and those are the chosen ones. You just don't know. You don't know what you don't know, what you don't know when you don't know it. Be guided, but do your research. Period. Do not listen to what other people say, even if it's what's been historically done in your culture, because we got a lot of stuff in my culture, and I could be, they say, y'all black women, y'all just, with the head and the knot and stuff. Yeah, but, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth, though. You don't like the truth? What's the problem? You don't like the truth? Sounds like you want your chest to be keep being cleared on out because you want to keep lying. Focus and honesty. Be guided, but do your research. Focus and honesty is needed to overcome obstacles. You know. Did I just not say that? You know your true north. So be brave about the next steps. We may have a number of purposes in life, not just a single one. It is time for true adventure. North is one of the cardinal directions in witchcraft and one of the guardian directions. So it's both. You choose which path you want. Go cardinal for the guardians or go on the witchcraft route, and you ain't got no protection. You're going to be broke. You're going to be solitary, desolate, and reaped. Okay? It has been associated with ice and snow. Okay? The Arctic Circle is large and passes through Norway, Sweden, Finland, Russia, Canada, Denmark, Greenland, Iceland, and the Arctic Ocean. Always been a certain romanticism about going north on adventures. And that's that mountains, the ice-capped mountains and stuff, air energy, okay? Gemini energy, manifestation. What are you trying to manifest? You want to manifest love, unconditional love, or you manifesting not unconditional love, self-hate, waste, pollution, dilution, okay? You got to be careful with that because now it was already explained that these will be the last dark waters. Y'all want to keep soaking in the dark, polluted waters, okay? But everybody else going to get the dew of life that y'all wasted. Not being in your height, your purpose, operate out of love in your heart space. So you choose which path you want to go on. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys had a great birthday. Talk to you later.